Hey there guys, it's DMO73 bringing you another new spoiler article for Force of Will. This is probably going to be the last one before we get the full spoiler list for Moon Priestess Returns. This time we get to meet Fiethsing, the magic of Holy Wind. Very Unchained Gang of Holy Wind. So this is Fiethsing, the sage. She was released from the Magic Stone when True Little Red spent all of her energy and became a magic stone. So they kind of swapped places in terms of the lore. So let's just go ahead. All of these cards are having to do with wind, having to do with the Fiethsing and what she can do. So let's just jump right in. So Fiethsing herself is a 3-drop elf, 6 sages. So pretty cool. New elf card is always awesome. Quick cast. You can summon her at anytime. So anytime that you would do, anytime that you would be able to cast the spell chant instant, you can summon Fiethsing too. So that's pretty amazing. Her enter ability is prevent all damage that would be dealt by target resonator until end of turn. So if someone's gonna swing in and finish you off for the game, bam, there's Fiethsing. I get a body, I prevent all the damage. And I can keep moving. And activate, produce 1 will of any attribute. So she also can help you generate mana, and that's pretty freaking awesome. But it's not just green like an Elvish Priest, it's any color. So that's going to be really great for being a really good support card to help kind of tweak into whatever kind of tech you want to work with. It's going to make a lot of really interesting options in terms of techable cards in the side deck. And I just think that's good. It's a really cool ability. Her stats aren't amazing, but at the same time, her stats aren't really what you're playing her for. So that's a really, really cool card. I really like it. Then we have some of her spells. It's another new counter spell. Yay! Exceed the Ancient Magic. It's a 3-drop. Cancel target spell. If you control Fiethsing, the magic of Magus of Holy Wind, draw a card. So this is like absolute cake zone. It costs 1 more, and it gives you a draw power element if you have Fiethsing as opposed to Gretel. I think the main thing why it costs 1 more is because of the fact that it's can cancel summon spells too. So it's literally like Z's and Cake Zone in one, because technically when a card is being played, it is counting as a spell. So like, you know, playing a monster is a summon spell, and that's why Z's works. But like Exceed the Ancient Magic can cancel either, because it cancels target spell. It doesn't specify. So the one cost higher makes sense. 3 is pretty expensive for a spell. But I think that'll definitely be playable, and especially since you're going to have Fiethsing on board probably, you'll be able to generate the extra mana, and it's not going to be that big of a deal. So that's pretty interesting that Wind is getting another new counter spell. So just showing up that Wind is going to be a huge push for control decks in the next set. Then we have this card, Addition Field. 2-drop. If damage would be dealt to you by a normal spell, prevent 200 of it. So this is going to be really good against like burn decks, because like you can play multiple with the new 5.0 rules. So you can play multiple field editions. So I could put up like 3 of these, and then I just essentially make any thunders or any burn damage like that against me completely useless, which is going to be important because the new red cards and the new Cthulhu cards have some stuff that do burn damage. So this is going to be a pretty interesting card that I think is going to see a lot of side deck play. So that's pretty awesome. And then it's funny because everyone always splashes in blue because you want to draw cards, and you draw cards because of Cheshire Cat. But now we have this cat, who I think is going to replace Cheshire Cat for green, so you won't necessarily need to use Cheshire Cat anymore, which is going to be interesting. Familiar of Holy Wind, 1-drop, 2/2. Familiar Cat, enter draw card. Bam, just like that. And then activate, pay a green, banish it. This card deals 300 damage to target resonator. So it's a body, It does some small damage to small monsters. It's got heterochromia and it's adorable, and it's a cat. So I think this is going to be able to let players kind of shy away from blue and still have a draw engine. If they want to play like green, white, black, or something like that, they won't have to worry about splashing in blue so that they can get that draw engine up. Because Familiar of Holy Wind will help get that, because it's a free draw card whenever you enter. So that'll help you dig into your deck. And it's got a better body than Cheshire Cat, because it has that 200 attack. So it can actually do some small pokes to get some damage in if your opponent isn't committing to board. So that's pretty cool. And then Wise Man of Winds, another new elf. Enter, banish this card if you don't control another elf. So that's pretty obviously making it so you need to play an elf deck. Ta-da! But a 2-drop, 800, 600. Like, that's awesome. So like turn 1 play Elvish Priest, turn 2 plays Wise Man of Winds. Ta-da! I've got a giant body on board turn 2. That's gonna be hard for you to deal with. Because the enter ability is only triggered if you don't control an elf. It's just an enter. It's not a continuous. So once it hits board, something can happen to your elves and she's totally fine. So this is a pretty interesting thing. Elf decks so far from Grimlock have not really had a lot of good monsters, like strong monsters. So this is going to be an interesting support card that I think is going to help out those decks a lot. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. And then lastly, I talked about it before, but here's again the official spoiler for it. Little Red, the Pure Stone, produce 1 will of any attribute, or of the chosen attribute. So when you flip it over, it becomes the mana that you choose, and that it produces 1 will of that attribute from then on out. Also can tap to pump up a resonator that has the shared attribute. So if you're playing a dark deck, make it dark, and then you can get some extra points of damage in there. So that's really awesome. And then you can only really control 1 of it, because if you control 2, you got to destroy 1 of them, and you don't want to do that. So yeah, that is it for this set. Spoilers. I really like the art on all of these, I think, and I think this is going to make it so that, again, it's going to be a really cool support set. This set of cards to make some of the other rulers from the first 2 sets more playable. Like, I see Elf, I see some more counter stuff that's pretty awesome. I see some draw engine stuff, so I think that like Helsing Elf decks are gonna be something that I'm gonna want to try and play, and gonna be much better than they were before, because they have bodies, they have more options, and they have more ways to play around with their opponent is playing. So that's gonna be pretty cool. So anyway, guys, why don't you go ahead and comment down in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of these cards. Do you think they're going to be awesome? Do you think they suck? Do you think Ixie the Ancient Magic is broken and they shouldn't have given Wind another counterspell? What do you think about all this stuff? I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments down below. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Check back here every Wednesday and Saturday for matches and deck profiles. And until next time, this is DMO73 signing off.